come by. I'm asking the principal to come. You wait until the principal come by. Wait until the principal come by.
Tempers flare as officials clash at a school gate, and this is only a part of the story. The full breakdown coming up.
BEC slowing down a little so consumers can save a little.
And an armed forces showdown on the court. We've got the highlights. The National Report starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This segment of the news is brought to you by BTC, powered by Lime.
Two schools shut down as teachers moved in a second day of protests. Good evening, I'm Candino Knowles.
And good evening, Bahamas. I'm Altaviz Munnings.
Well, today, for the second day in a row, teachers at Uriah McPhee and Stephen Dillard primary schools have refused to teach because they say classrooms are moldy and infested with rodents. At both schools this morning, parents picked up their children, but security stopped our news team from entering the compound. Some of the parents spoke with our Janelle Ferguson on the condition of anonymity and told her that they are simply fed up.
Feel for the teachers. Someone need to feel for the parents.
During the early school hours, parents were seen parading in and out of this gate, collecting their children from the Uriah McPhee Primary School. While our news team was denied access inside the gate, we spoke to parents on the outside who say they're frustrated. They say that school has just started and all of these problems should have been addressed.
I'm tired of this. This ain't make no sense. School just open 2 weeks now.
I've gone from out east. And the traffic, getting up in the morning, taking the kids, bringing them here, and then again, when they reach, they say the children inside the auditorium until 3 o'clock. It's poor.
Don't wait till school open for the new year, and then all of a sudden, all these issues come up.
Education officials entered the school as parents continue to collect their children. But what about the teachers?
The teachers are in the library sipping coffee.
Meanwhile, at the Stephen Dillard Primary School, teachers assembled in front of the school. While some of them were obviously engaged in conversation, others were reading the newspaper. One teacher was observed wearing a mask. By mid-afternoon, education officials announced that both schools would be closed by Monday. Representatives of the BUT were at the Uriah McPhee School overseeing happenings there. But a row broke out when one union official attempted to enter the premises.
Wait until the principal come by. I'm asking the principal to come. You wait until the principal come by.
You have the camera rolling, right?
Wait until the principal come by.
This is ridiculous. I mean,
Wait until the principal.
We are professionals. This treatment is
Whatever
horrible.
you do not scare me.
Union President Belinda Wilson said after being denied access to a school last week, this incident is once again disappointing. She added that parents who find issue with the actions taken by teachers should be more concerned about the health and safety of their children.
No windows. You can see there are no windows. So whenever the air conditioning units are not working properly, it poses a major problem. If you have rat and feces and urine that's in the immediate area of the classroom, and your child is eating their sandwich or their french fry or their candy, and it falls to the floor, and they pick it up. So it's not about the union having all these issues with the principal or with the Ministry of Education. We want to have the most safe and healthy environment for our children.
Janelle Ferguson, ZNS Network News.
Education officials confirming this afternoon that it would cost more than $50,000 to rectify the air conditioning problem at Stephen Dillard Primary School. Education Director Lionel Sands says after reviewing a preliminary report, there is evidence that the air conditioning units at both Stephen Dillard and Uriah McPhee are not functioning properly. He talks about why this particular issue wasn't addressed before the start of the new academic year.
You would recall that during the summer, the Ministry of Education received scopes of works for summer repairs at many of our schools, in fact, all of our schools. Unfortunately, the scopes of works did not include the air conditioning system because at the end of the school year in June, there was no problem with the air conditioning. And because the school was not used over the summer holidays, that was not taken into consideration.
Now, Mr. Sands also confirmed that evidence of mold was found at one of the schools. However, he said the problem would be corrected today. He also addressed claims of rodent infestation at Stephen Dillard, adding that the Department of Environmental Health has dealt with that problem. Education officials hope to have all works completed by the weekend, and Sands says all parents will be notified by Sunday evening whether students should return to school on Monday. Meantime, BUT President Belinda Wilson says she cannot give the assurance that union members will teach when those primary schools open on Monday. She says the union has to make sure the facilities are safe for all its members.
We've asked them to assemble again in an area that is conducive for them, and we understand from the ministry's side that their district superintendents will be in both facilities so that they can speak with our teachers. So we will also have union representation at both of the school sites to ensure that what we know has been agreed that should happen in terms of the repairs of the school. We're going to take it upon ourselves, and we're going to financially bear the burden to have the independent company come in and look at the mold, especially in Stephen Dillard and Uriah McPhee schools, and we're going to try to have that done between tomorrow and the weekend.
In other news this Thursday, the Bahamas Electricity Corporation is bringing some relief to their residential customers in New Providence and the Family Islands. BEC's Chairman Leslie Miller announced today that they've decided to temporarily stop disconnection of electricity supply to residential consumers due to non-payment. Mr. Miller indicated that initiative will last for 2 weeks. He added that the reduction on duty BEC received should be felt by consumers by some 10 to 12% in their October bill.
What this means is that for the next 2 weeks, residential customers who are already burdened with high electricity bills will get some reprieve. While BEC will not be conducting disconnections of residential accounts during this period, customers should know that bills with overdue balances as of October 1st, 2013 may be at risk for disconnection, and this does not apply to any commercial customers. Any customer who pay their entire overdue bill in the month of September or October will receive a 10% discount on that portion of the bill that's more than 60 days overdue. Additionally, we will also give a 2% discount to those customers without outstanding balances who pay their bill on time and in full.
Mr. Miller admitted that the back-to-school season has put a strain on many parents, especially single mothers. He hopes this initiative will help ease their burden. Mr. Miller also added that the corporation plans to continue to do more to reduce the cost of electricity.
We look out for those single mothers and other disenfranchised Bahamians who are challenged by the economic climate in which we find ourselves in at this present time. This especially goes out to those parents burdened by the recent start of the new school year. School fees, purchasing uniforms, books, and other material, along with providing daily lunch for their children, have no doubt put an even greater burden on their already limited financial resources.
Now, there are about 5,000 Bahamian homes without electricity, and BEC urges customers to visit any of their offices nationwide to make arrangements to pay their outstanding bills. Well, here's the latest warning from the Royal Bahamas Police Force to motorists. Take the tints off your vehicles now. An operation began yesterday by the Police Traffic Division to cite those motorists whose car windows are not transparent, all because police are confident it will put an even bigger dent on the war on crime. Police Traffic Division officers didn't have to search too far to find vehicles with tinted windows. They stood right outside their east-west highway headquarters and began to stop motorists immediately. The traffic officers also used their speed gun to detect motorists driving past the 35-mile-per-hour speed limit. At a press conference Wednesday afternoon, officer in charge of the Traffic Division, Assistant Superintendent Craig Stubbs, explained the reason behind Operation Tinted Windows.
We have had vehicles where the front, rear, and side door glass were all heavily tinted. The officer has no view of the interior of that vehicle. it is an offense. The law specifically states no vehicle shall have on any tent, film, sign, poster that prevent the view of the interior of that vehicle. Failure to do so, it's an offense.
Meanwhile, Police Press Liaison Officer Superintendent Stephen Dean pointed out why authorities must target cars with tinted windows.
We have noticed a number of the criminals, hardcore criminals who we have arrested for murder, armed robbery, they are traveling in heavily tinted vehicles. It is creating a deep problem for the police because oftentimes we try to stop these vehicles, we do not know who is inside the vehicles. And our life in most cases could be in grave danger.
Superintendent Dean confirmed that police will also target omnibus drivers with non-transparent windows.
Many people call us and complain, they call me off cell phone in the bus and they are complaining. They feel afraid in the bus because they see some of these people who are sitting in the bus. Then it's tinted and all kind of things are happening there.
Well, we've been reporting all week that the Ministry of National Security has beefed up its crime-fighting plan by placing police officers on 12-hour shifts and have also invited Defense Force officers to join in the fight.
Former Minister of National Security Cynthia Pratt tonight is speaking out on the new crime plan. She applauds the government's decision to attempt a different crime-fighting strategy.
People, we are quick to say nothing is happening. All we see is crime. And then when an initiative is taking place where they are trying to do what they can to curb it, then we find the criticism coming in. Is it going to work? Well, we don't know if it's going to work, but we know that we must try something to try and cause it to work, because all of us want to feel safe in our country.
Now, Pratt says when she sat in the chair as National Security Minister from 2002 to 2007, she was heavily criticized for taking a chance with new officers to assist with the Tourism Crime Patrol Unit.
I had some officers on the streets called tourism police, and I think this is a golden opportunity for me to say this. I was criticized severely that these officers weren't trained policemen. No, they might not have been trained like the ordinary officer, but you know what? They were eyes and they were hands, and their presence were keeping the crime down from our tourists being attacked.
Well, in our first check at weather, we are looking at a satellite picture around the islands. We had some showers and thunderstorms across the northern Bahamas, producing thunderstorms across Grand Bahama, Abaco, as well as the Bimini area. A lot of that will be moving away from us as the evening goes on. Temperatures made it up to 90 degrees today, overnight low 77, and normals around 89 and 75. Right now, we are in the mid-80s with 86 outside our studios. Southeasterly winds at 5 knots, relative humidity at 74%, the barometric pressure 29.91 inches, and it is falling. A look at further temperatures around the islands, your boating and your travel forecast is still to come.
Good news coming for garbage collection. We'll explain.
And Government League playoff action coming up. Police and Defense Forces looking for wins. Find out later on in ZNS Total Sports. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Shell Helix Ultra. Performance you can see.